All right, hey guys, Jason here. We're back up here at JC Lewis Ford, wandering around. We got Tina's ZR2 up here. We've been making some videos, and today what we're going to be talking about in this one is we're going to dive deeper into reevaluating your situation when it comes to the deal, if there are red flags. This is a big one. This is kind of the golden egg of the dealerships. This is when they hit this point, they win. Like you can see, I'm starting to sweat a little bit. It was 108-degree real feel temperature today. You can see the humidity is still insane. Look at the lights. Okay, I'll wipe it again, but that is all humidity out here. That's how bad it is. Super hot still even here. I'm sweating. That's their goal, is to sweat you out, is to get you to the point where you can't take it anymore, that you give in. So how do we beat this? Okay, what do I mean by step back, reevaluate? So here you are and you're working a deal. Let's go over by some F-150s over here. We got some F-150s there. Tremor's still sitting here. Let's say you're working this $85,000 Tremor, beautiful truck, but you're working this deal, $85,000 truck, plus it's got some extras on it. So where's our price? $82,000. Plus, they also included new tires, a bed liner, a speedo recalibration, tint, a leveling kit, and rear wheel liners, taking you up to $90,000, 90 grand. So you're gonna spend $90,000 on this Tremor, and you're in here at the dealership and you start working this deal, and you already kind of did everything that we talked about, and you figured it out, you had it down, you knew what your numbers were, you knew what the out-the-door price was, you knew what everything you were looking for is, and then you get up here to sign, and things start going awry, okay? You start looking at the numbers and they're not adding up, okay? And then they're coming back and they're like, oh, well, yeah, but you gotta have this. Oh, that doesn't include the car washes for life. Yeah, I know that's not part of the out the door, but it's mandatory. Every vehicle gets that, but it's so valuable for you. And the windshield is like, do you know how much it costs the windshields to replace the windshields in these? Now, I like the windshield thing. I actually bought it for my truck. But, you know, they go through these things and they're gonna wear this, GAP insurance. You gotta have GAP. It's a $90,000 truck. You gotta put GAP on it. And next thing you know, your payment that you thought you were coming in to buy it, let's just throw a random number, say it was $1,500. You thought you were coming in here and you were gonna sign the papers for the deal you agreed upon for $1,500. And now, all of a sudden, it's turning into $1,800 a month. That's $300 more a month for 5 or 6 or 7 years. And, you know, $300 more a month. And now you're all of a sudden, you're sweating like crazy. You're kind of freaking out. You've already done all of this work to get them to this deal, to get them to come to the terms you want. You're now in here. You thought it was the final straw. And boom, they're hitting you and they're hitting you and they're hitting you, and you feel like you can't do nothing. You're literally starting to sweat. You're literally starting to freak out a little bit here. And this is when people tell you, you know, you hear us say all the time, walk, just get up and walk away. And that is very good advice. However, you're looking at it as going, I have so much invested in this. I have called all these dealerships. I have worked the deals. I am here. I drove 3 hours from my house. This is it. I cannot let this go. I'm too vested in it. That is what they want you as. That's what they want you to feel. Vested, locked, worth it. Don't walk away. You're already in here. This is now your world. Make it happen. That is exactly what they are hoping to do. They are sweatboxing you through the process and hoping, and they know that most people will break and will just sign because they just want to be done with it. They just want this whole thing over. They just want to move on with their life and get their car and go home and put it on Facebook and show their friends and brag to everybody how they have a $90,000 Tremor and they made it in this world. They are now somebody. Just give me my keys. That's the way they want. And I'm not picking on people. I'm just I'm making fun because it is a $90,000 F-150. Okay, here's a $50,000 F-150. You could buy one of these, and you could buy one of those, and then buy your wife one of these for the price of one of these. Okay, again, I'm not knocking it or what you do with your money, but the point is now you're like I said, you're here. You're stuck in a spot. There, you don't have to walk, but you can step back and reevaluate. So what do I mean by that? Okay, when we tell you to get up and walk, it means get up and walk with the hope that they're gonna call you back and that kind of thing. That's what you're hoping for. What if they don't call you back? Well, then you're just going to have to move on and start the process over. That's getting out of there and doing that. Reevaluating, stepping back and reevaluating is a very simple, real-world business practice, and it's also very important for you. So here's how that works. Here he is laying all this stuff out at you. It's a finance guy. You got everything set. Your trade. They already got your trade in the back room. Okay, they're already taking everything. This is basically a done deal. Credit apps have been done. Everything is set. You're here again. They own you here. With the payments $300 more a month than what you wanted. Here's what you do. You simply tell them, you know what? I came in here expecting to pay $1,500 a month for this truck. You're at $1,800 a month. I'm not saying what you're doing is right or wrong. All I'm saying to you is that I am now uncomfortable with the deal. I am not denying this deal. I want you to kind of keep it holding, but I'm taking my trade and I'm leaving. And I'm going to reevaluate my situation. I don't know if I want to spend that kind of money. I don't know if I'm comfortable about the fact that I came in here to pay $1,500 and you guys now have added on another $300. I don't know how well I sit on that. And what I do know is that right now as I sit here, I'm supposed to be feeling very good about buying my new truck. And what I'm really feeling is very anxious, sweaty, and uncomfortable about making a mistake on a $90,000 loan because of this stuff going on. I am going to take my trade. I am going to leave here. I'm going to reevaluate my situation and see what I want to do and see if the deal that you have going on here is worth it. In the meantime, I'm going to call some other dealers that I've talked to in the past and I had that were going to offer the same kind of deal. I'm going to see how this stuff works in my favor. Once you say that to them and you tell them that, and they're going to tell you, well, this deal ends today. If you walk out that door, you don't get that deal today. I don't care about the deal anymore. I care about the fact that I'm uncomfortable. I'm anxious, I'm sweaty, I'm nervous, and it doesn't sit right with me. Your deal that you're saying, we just got a big accident. We just had a big accident happen right there. Total big accident. Let's walk over here for a second and take a look. And there's a cop sitting right there at that gas station. He better get over there, but that sounded like that hit hard. Let's take a look. Right there. I don't understand how this stuff happens, but it happens all the time here. But we got a pretty major accident. Something big, and there's people there good, so they're getting to make sure. Yeah, it just blows my mind how many accidents happen down here. Doors open. All right, he's coming out. Okay, we're good. All right. And again, there's an officer. There's a cop sitting right there at the gas station. He was just here. He's right there. He'll be over there in a second. He's getting in his car. But so you tell them that the situation is not making you comfortable. It is not acceptable where you're feeling. See, there he goes. Popping out of there and heading over there. We'll give him a second because he's going to make some noise here for a sec. Hold on. Heading over there to go get it dialed in. All right. So, sorry about the confusion, but I thought you might want me to leave it in there. So, but you're going to tell him, he's going to say, this deal ends right now if you walk out the door. You're basically telling him, I'm not comfortable with the deal. I'm okay. I'm telling you I'm walking out because of the deal and what it's turned into. I am going to reevaluate. Leave and reevaluate. Even if he tells you, well, you know what? We'll meet you halfway. We'll knock another $150 off. Don't do it. If it doesn't feel good, step back and reevaluate. I promise you that the deal you have on the table right now will be there again tomorrow, and it will be there a week from now, and it will most likely be even better. So do not think for a second you have to stay there. Do not think you have to walk away and run to another dealership. Do not think any of that kind of stuff. Okay, the two vehicles I know for a fact, one of them, my Renegade, my Jeep Renegade, I didn't walk from dealers. I stepped back and reevaluated the whole entire situation, waited 2 weeks, because I did not feel comfortable. I tried so hard. I think I've told you that story before where I actually ripped the keyboard off of my computer and threw it across my office because of a dealership in Illinois, right outside of Chicago, that I've been working on, and I was there, already cut off the ties to the other dealers, had this thing all planned, and the whole thing came down to the same kind of crap I'm telling you about, and I had to walk away from that deal completely. But now I walk away from the deal, I took a step back, ordered a new keyboard on Amazon, reevaluated my situation, waited 2 weeks, a week and a half, came back and attacked the whole process again from scratch, even calling many of the same dealers again, and I ended up getting a $26,500 MSRP vehicle out the door for $16,800. Taxes, title, doc fee included, everything. Let the power of that number sink in. Okay, the deal that I lost when I was making that deal in Illinois was for $19,000. I got it by stepping back and reevaluating for $16,800 out the door. Everything included. Was one of the best deals I've ever made on a car. I made it because I stepped back, took a breath, reevaluated, knew that if I did not feel good about it, I wasn't going to do it, stopped the desperation from setting in, controlled myself, stuck to the principles of what mattered to me, and I won. And that's what I'm telling you right now. There are times to walk away. Walking away is easy. You just get up and you leave, and that's it. And then you're just done, and then you keep right on with the process. Stepping back and reevaluating, it's a little bit more involved than that, but it's got a lot more power, and it gives you back complete control. You know, in order to jump forward, if you take a step back and be able to get that start, you get that power, and you can jump a lot farther than if you're just walking and then try to randomly jump. It's true, and it's the same in life. And don't be afraid to do it. Step back, reevaluate, assess the situation, attack it later on if you need to, take a break from it. Whatever you got to do to put this stuff into real world for you is where the solution lies. Because it's going to make you happy, it's going to make you confident, it's going to make your deal better, it's going to make you win on every kind of level. So questions, comments, anything you got, put them below. Thanks for watching.